Welcome to the Keaney Gymnasium on the campus of the University of Rhode Island in Kingston, Rhode Island, our second of two semifinals. The Division II Girls Volleyball State Championship Tournament for the Rhode Island Interscholastic League. I'm Joe Koss alongside Neil Nachbar. Game number 2 of the semifinal matchup, Cranston West teaming up against Tolman High School, and this one should be a good one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one, Joe. This one is definitely dear to my heart, and we've got two good teams here. Looking forward to a great match.
Of course, Neil, you're the head coach of the boys team at Tolman High School, so you've got a little bit of insight into this girls team, and they've brought quite a healthy crowd here. A fan bus that has come, and joining them, the head basketball coach as well, to help chaperone the event to make sure that all these students can come down here, and they've got a great student section here tonight at the University of Rhode Island.
Yeah, it's great to see that kind of school spirit, everyone bonding together to cheer on the girls volleyball team and hopefully pull out a victory and make it to the finals. And you'll love to see that kind of spirit at the school.
In the first semifinal, Exeter West Greenwich took the victory, so they have already earned a championship berth here in Division II of girls volleyball for the Rhode Island Interscholastic League. And now, who will it be in the other spot? Will it be Tolman wearing red with white numerals trimmed in black on the left side of your screen in the opening set? Or will it be Cranston West wearing white uniforms with red numerals and red trim?
Well, Joe, you've got two teams here with the identical records during the season, but took two different paths to get here. Cranston West won 3 out of the last 5. Tolman, on the other hand, they've won 10 in a row. They haven't lost a match since September 28th. In their last 2 matches, they won in dramatic fashion. They came from behind in their last season, regular season match against Cumberland. They were down 2-1. They were losing 6-1 in the 5th set. Managed to fight their way back, win the match, and that match clinched the division title for Tolman. Then in the quarterfinals against West Warwick, similar situation, down 2-1. They clawed their way back, and they beat West Warwick at Tolman in order to make it here to the semifinals.
And this is a very vibrant semifinal environment. I'll tell you, this Tolman crowd is going to play a big part in this game today as we get set to get underway in the opening set in Cranston West. We'll have the opening set. Over to the far sideline, it's played off for Tolman as they tap it up over the net. Now it comes near sideline as Courtney Salisbury keeps it alive for Cranston West. Far side, it's Anna Espinal who's able to strike it home for the kill.
That's a good decision right there by Anna to just dump the ball right over the block. Force Cranston West to have to dig it up, play a tough defensive ball.
Manita Manea to serve for Tolman High School. And the Tigers, their first serve of the contest, they trail by 1 after the first point. Salisbury, a driving attack, goes into the deep row, and it goes down for a kill as, boy, Anna Espinal was running for that one, nearly took out half her teammates on the bench. A good effort, but it was misplayed by Karen Mejias off the first hit. It wasn't playable.
Well, you like to see that kind of hustle, but you also don't want to see any injuries over there.
Alexa Gillison on the serve for Cranston West. Now Gillison to set. Sets it up for Alicia Hanley, and it goes just long.
That was a good swing by Hanley. She's a tough hitter. She's guided the Cranston West team all year on offense. Also one of the best basketball players in the state.
There's Veronica Wiggins to serve for Tolman. The toss and the serve. Ball's dug by Traficante. Slight miscommunication that time by Holman, but they're able to keep the ball alive. Gillison with the set. Bumped up by Aguilera. Pushed over by Espinal. Back over Salisbury with an attack. Back row dig. Espinal wanted that one, was but slightly out of position, and a violation being called against Tolman High School.
Interesting feeling out process by both teams here. You're seeing very few swings. Both teams setting the ball over the net, trying to find openings.
Junior libero Kristen Traficante on the serve. Sent over by Ola Gunchu with a very lazy but effective attack.
Yeah, again, the Tolman team finding that short ball open right behind the front row blockers.
Tolman leading it 3-2. Anna Espinal on the serve. Salisbury taking a swing. It's actually Courtney Lambrisi on the near side who takes the swing, and it goes down for a kill.
Yeah, that was a conservative serve on Tolman's part. I think you're going to have to serve these Cranston West passes a little tougher than that for it to be effective.
Now here's Alexa Gilson as the crowd comes alive here in the Keaney Gymnasium. And that one just a bit wide on the blue paint of the court. And Tolman will take over the serve one more time. Coming back into the game is Patty Santos to make her first appearance, as she'll replace Manita Minea for the Tolman Tigers. And an ace is registered for Jacqueline Aguilera.
Nice top spin serve there. That ball had a lot of drop on it.
Back and forth volleyball here in the opening set. Aguilera to serve. Traficante pushes it up ahead to the front row. Can't do anything with it though on the play, and they're forced just to bump it over, and Tolman does the same in the other direction. Traficante off her heels a bit, and Salisbury drives it into the net.
Traficante did a nice job tracking that ball down. She had to go all the way to the sideline. Cranston West unable to get the ball over the net though.
Aguilera with a 3-point lead on the serve. And it barely clips the bottom of the net, and she didn't get a full hand on that and didn't get good contact with the volleyball.
This is quite a playoff atmosphere we have here tonight. We haven't seen this out of the crowd all the week, actually.
Yeah, of the games that we have covered, this is certainly the best and most vibrant crowd, and it certainly provides that exciting environment. That ball mishandled by the Tolman defense in Karen Mahias. And the ace will be registered by Asia Baez.
That was a tough floater right between Mahias and Espinal.
That serve well wide and long, that time by Baez. You have to think that the crowd could be playing into this a little bit.
This is certainly a raucous crowd. They're into it right from the get-go.
But the best part is they're doing it while they're sitting down.
Loud but well behaved.
Perez with the serve. Bumped over and pushed back by Santos. Santos couldn't bring it down to the ground though, and it's misplayed that time by Cranston West.
A little indecision on whether to set the ball with the hands or the forearms. Ended up forcing the error.
Angeles Perez is a freshman libero, and that's pretty interesting to see. And she will get the ace.
Coach Tao saw a lot of promise in her early on, so rather than have her play on JV, he decided to call her right up to varsity and have the growing pains while she's playing varsity.
That's some growing pain right there. With the ace on the serve, well, there's a little bit of freshman in you. You go a little bit wide with that serve, and she'll pick up the service error. Courtney Lambrisi is a junior middle blocker on this Cranston West team, now to serve. Tosses it up. There's Perez on the bump, looking far sideline, but it comes over to Aguilera, who has to just push it over to keep it in play. At the front row, it's tapped over by Hanley and played by the back row. Over to the far sideline, bumping it backwards over the net is Wiggins to keep it alive. That ball misplayed by number 6, Nicole Natarisi. And she's had a couple of plays where she hasn't quite made the contact she needs on the ball, and the ball is just scattered in the opposite direction.
Yeah, that was an easy ball that came over the net. Cranston West just not able to take advantage of it.
10-6, Tolman leads in the opening set. Ball bumped over by Hanley, pushed back by Wiggins. Beautiful dig that time by Mejas. And the ball knocked out of play. Cranston West awarded the point, headed to the benches, number 22, Gianna Procacante for Cranston West. Carlotta Trapassi comes into the contest. As Gianna Procaccini heads to the bench, and it is an ace being registered for Trapassi.
That is a very difficult serve. She takes that ball from way behind the end line, and you don't see that too often at the high school level.
So Trapassi to serve again, and she is deep on that serve.
This is a tough floater.
Takes a step in and will clip the top of the net along the far sideline, and Tolman will pick up the point.
I think if she's only going to score 1 point on that serve, if you're Tolman, you'll take that every time because that's a tough serve when she gets it.
Coming in to serve, Manita Minea. Minea sizes it up, throws it up, and then pushes it over the net. Bumped up by Traficante. Looking Salisbury, near side, it goes long.
Cranston West normally a better hitting team than they've shown so far early on.
Minea with another opportunity. The score at 12-8. Tolman in the lead, wearing red on the left side of your screen. Cranston West white. They're on the right side. Salisbury bumps it over. Sneaky attack that time by Jacqueline Aguilera, just to push it over with the right hand with a no-look attack.
Yeah, she disguised that well. She really made it look like she was going to set the ball. She sold it, caught Cranston West by surprise. Coach Tom Ferry doesn't like what he sees, calls a timeout.
Manita Minea on a very successful string of serves here to put Tolman up 13-8. Cranston West now huddling around their coach and head coach Tom Ferry. Tom Pocket, one of the assistants on the team as well, as he stands inside the huddle trying to guide their team and get their momentum going once again. And I think it seems as though some of the front row is not working as efficiently as it could be for Cranston West.
Yeah, timing is very off right here between the setters and the hitters, and they got to get that on track. Normally a very efficient offense that they run, and tonight they're a little bit off. They were clicking on all cylinders in the quarterfinals against Westerly, dominating that match 25-5, 25-18, 25-14. So we'll see out of the timeout if they can get things going.
They break quickly out of the timeout. Tolman still gathered around their head coach and Roger Tao. Now they've broken. Minea will come up to continue her streak of serving. 13-8. Again, Tolman out in front here in the opening set. Our second semifinal of the evening in girls volleyball, the Rhode Island Interscholastic League. It's Division II tonight. Looking for Salisbury on the near sideline, but coming in to help out was Alicia Hanley instead, and she'll get the kill.
Good spot by Hanley. Pushes that ball short right.
Headed off to the bench, Nicole Matarisi. And that'll bring in number 9, Kelly McDonough, to join along the front row for Cranston West in the Falcons. Far side, Espinal trying to push it over. And it comes back Salisbury, who fires a shot into the net, and an attack error for Salisbury.
Cranston West still yet to find a rhythm.
Here's Veronica Wiggins with the serve. Wiggins, and it rattles off the hands of Kristen Traficante, and she has to shake it off. Looking for Espinal on the far side, but it's Olagunchi. Beautiful drive over the top by Hanley.
Yeah, I think if you're going to see Cranston West get on track, Hanley's got to be the key player there. They can feed her the ball. She's going to do a lot of damage in this match.
Traficante serves into the net. And the score right now, 15-10. Tolman on top of the opening set. Anna Espinal, number 22, a senior outside hitter, and she's shown her strength on that far side. I think some of the players being slightly distracted by some of the whistles we're hearing coming from the crowd as play begins to let up on occasion, but Courtney Lambrisi able to connect on that. And they will score the point.
Yeah, that spot is going to fall against most teams. Deep corner, great spot.
Alexa Gilson on the serve. Espinal misplays it, but it's kept alive. Now Espinal is forced just to bump it over. It goes to the back row, Traficante. Now it's set up along the front row. Lambrisi tries to attack. Now set by Gilson. Near side attack. Beautiful hit that time by Gianna Procaccini, and she'll get the kill.
Tolman had success early on in the off-speed shots, finding the short ball, but at some point they're going to have to set up a solid attack too.
Here's Courtney Salisbury. They've cut the lead down to 3. Espinal able to get the bump on the play, then traffic Conte. A driving hit that time dug by Espinal. Far side bump. Pushed over by Mejas. And it's off the hand of Espinal. And a nice job along the front line of Courtney Lambrisi. Boy, I tell you, Tolman is going to have to find an answer for her because she is tough along the front row.
Yeah, that's Cranston West game. When they're playing well, that's what they're going to do. They're going to hammer the ball towards the angle.
15-13. Tolman's lead beginning to diminish. Traffic Conte able to keep that one alive along the back line and then slaps it into the net. Boy, that wasn't what she was looking for on that attack.
Now, a broken play like that, you're not looking necessarily to score. You just got to play the ball over the net and then get ready on defense.
The freshman, Perez, back into the contest for Tolman, and an ace being awarded to Jacqueline Aguilera.
Aguilera getting some nice top spin by snapping her wrist.
Aguilera up over the top. It comes right back to her. Aguilera the bump. Olaguncu trying to put it up over, but had her body slightly twisted, and it hits the top of the net for the error.
Yeah, I don't like my setter taking that first ball. I'd rather see her at the net setting, let someone else pass that first ball.
Asia Baez to serve for Cranston West. It's a good clean serve. Olaguncu with the attack over the top, bumped up by Traffic Conte, and now set over the top that time for Lambrisi, but couldn't connect. Pushed over that time by Matarisi, who's not afraid to send the ball over the net. That's clear. Matarisi again setting up a swinging Lambrisi, but the error occurs.
Yeah, there you saw her try to twist her body and turn that ball towards Tolman's right side of the court. That's not Cranston West's strengths. They normally swing towards the left side, which is their angle shot.
Here's Angeles Perez. And she'll get an ace. Traffic Conte made a diving play on that, and it hit Gianna Procaccini, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway. It was a line drive. It was going to hit the net.
Yeah, Traffic Keaney wasn't happy about getting aced by that freshman.
And here's Perez again. 19-14, Tolman on top in the opening set. Perez. The set by Matarisi. Played over by Lambrisi on the far side. Then bumped from behind by Mejas. Matarisi again, this time the near side attack swung down by Procaccini for the kill.
Nice under control swing. Didn't try to do too much with it. Didn't try to hit it too hard.
19-15, Tolman on top. Mejas with the first contact, and then it's just bumped over by Minea. Wiggins at the net, and a whistle and a violation is actually going to be called on Alish Hanley, who made contact with the net along the front row for Cranston West.
Tough to see from our vantage point, but referee Dave Nickerson was all over that call.
Karen Mejas back to serve. Beautiful dig by Traffic Conte, but it'll go down as an ace as Traffic Conte, the only one to make contact with it and couldn't quite get it to go over the net.
Coach Ferry calls his second and last time out. Try to stop things here. Get the serve back.
21-15 the score. It looked for a while like Tolman was starting to lose their grip on their advantage, but they came right back.
Yeah, Cranston West is playing much better offense than they did early on, but they can't get a series of points in a row. They're struggling to get on a run here. Tolman is serving tougher than they did in the beginning of the match.
Well, both teams huddled up around their coaches, going over some last-minute strategies to try to see if they could take the opening set, with Tolman having the advantage here, wearing red. Cranston West wearing white, our second semifinal. The winner of this game will play Exeter West Greenwich for the Division II state championship here in Rhode Island.
Exeter looked great in their semifinal match earlier this evening. They're going to be a formidable opponent for either of these teams.
Karen Mejas to serve once again for Tolman. The Tigers up over the top. Salisbury with the bump, comes near side attack. Pushed over by Hanley for the kill.
Well, that ball was set a little bit outside the antenna. Hanley did a nice job of keeping it in play, going sharp angle on that.
Carlotta Trapassi comes back into the contest, this time to serve. Dewsbury on hand to take this one in, as this is certainly a good battle so far here in the opening set. Perez electing not to go after that one, but it'll cost her a receive error as Trapassi will get an ace.
That deep floater is tough to handle. It just falls right off the table.
Trapassi puts the ball into play, but it goes wide. 22-17, Tolman out front, creeping ever closer to that 25 score. Heading to the bench for Tolman, Patty Santos, and back into the game, Manita Minea, who comes in to serve. Good toss by Minea. At the net, Salisbury trying to punch it over, but not effective at forcing the ball to the other side of the net.
Not much that Salisbury could do on that set. Really set tight to the net, also close to the antenna. Tough ball to get over.
Minea again. Matarisi, a reverse bump. Pushed over by Traficante. Dug by Perez. Set now Wiggins. Traficante on the dig. Brings it up. Near sideline. Tapped over there by Salisbury. Set by Aguilera. Back row attack. Salisbury pushes it over, and it's kept in play by Perez. Reverse bump by Mejas, and it's dug by Salisbury along the front row. Aguilera sets far sideline for Espinal, and she'll hit the net.
Yeah, that ball was not set in her sweet spot. She tried to do a little bit too much with it. If it's not there, you don't want to force it.
In to serve Alexa Gillison, the senior setter for Cranston West. Espinal on the far side calling for it. Dug by Trapassi, then swung on by Hanley, who gets the kill. Well, Hanley's been the bright spot along that front row.
Yeah, she's been very effective tonight. Whether by the tip or by the swing, she's really finding the open court.
23-19, Cranston West trying to get back into this opening set as Perez plays it. Aguilera, far side, Espinal dumps it over the net. Then it's dug by Traficante. Near sideline, Salisbury swinging for the kill.
Well, if you're Cranston West, you want to keep that serve going right now while you still have Hanley in the game. She is in the right front position, so next rotation, she's rotating out of the front row.
Alicia Hanley, wearing number 15, will take her team to the bench. Timeout by Tolman to try to calm the troops and rally them to get the win in set number one. They've lost some ground here, now 23-20. And Cranston West, right now, that serve is clicking off pretty good. But time and time again, we see with a timeout situation like this, sometimes it becomes a situation where you ice the server, and we've seen a lot of errors over the last couple of days.
Yeah, I love the timing by Coach Tao on that timeout. Try to nip things in the bud. They scored 1 point. Try to see if you can stop it at that. Get the serve back. That brings set point. So instead of waiting for 2 or 3 points in a row and letting Cranston West build some momentum, just try to stop it right away, and hopefully it will turn into a missed serve. If not, hopefully one of your hitters can put the ball down and get the serve back. We've got two veteran coaches here that know each other very well, and actually off the court they're very close friends, Coach Tao and Coach Ferry. A lot of respect between the two.
So here's Gillison trying to keep the string going. Doesn't want to have to force this to a set point situation, and one mistake will do that. Wiggins playing it at the net. It's played back and kept alive by Espinal. Set by Aguilera, and then Wiggins taps it over for the kill. Exactly what Tolman needed. Now they're 1 point away from the set victory.
Nothing fancy on that hit, but Wiggins finds the good spot there, deep middle. Good job of Aguilera to get her the ball.
I think we're playing hockey, as the Tolman fans say. It's all your fault with their chant. And Wiggins off the top of the net. Veronica Wiggins gets the ace, and Tolman will win the opening set 25-20.
We haven't seen that happen as much tonight as we did last night, where the serve hits the top of the net and drops over. So the timing turned out to be great for Tolman. That ball just ticks the top, drops right in the middle of the court where nobody from Cranston West could get it.
So Tolman takes the first set 25-20 over Cranston West and lead 1-0. You're watching the Rhode Island Interscholastic League Network. Back here at the Keaney Gymnasium at the University of Rhode Island in Kingston, Rhode Island. Joe Koss and Neil Nachbar along with you for the Division II girls volleyball semifinal game. It's Tolman up 1-0 after winning the first set 25-20 over Cranston West as we get ready to start the second set of competition.
Joe, I would say that Tolman came in a little bit of the underdog, even though both teams had the same record and Tolman has been on a roll. But the South in Division II this year was clearly stronger than the North. Out of the final 8 teams in the quarterfinals, 6 were from the South. 3 of the final 4 teams are from the South. The South was at least 5 teams deep when you talk about teams that had a realistic chance of winning the state title this year. So Tolman flew a little bit under the radar, if it's possible to fly under the radar when you win the division title in the North. But they came out very aggressive, didn't have a ton of mistakes. And so far, Cranston West has not been able to set up a consistent attack with the exception of Aylis Hanley.
Hanley has been tremendous to watch over there. She wears number 15, Alicia Hanley for Cranston West and the Falcons. And she is on the front row as we get set to start set number 2. Karen Mejas will open things up serving for Tolman High School.
Expect this first set to go right to Hanley.
Here's Mejas. First ball played over by Espinal. Tapped up by Hanley and then driven over by Procaccini. Back to Espinal, a driving attack, bumped back by Hanley. Hanley trying to keep the play alive. Procaccini now far side as the team adjusts. Out in front, Wiggins with a swing. Back to Tolman, and it's tapped over by Espinal to keep it alive. Hanley playing it at the net, and she will make contact with the net as Wiggins challenged on the other side.
Yeah, that ball did not cross the net, so there were 4 contacts by Cranston West.
Mejas again to serve, the senior outside hitter. Deep serve into the back row. Tapped up by the Cranston West setter and Natarisi, but a tip is being called.
That time Hanley was well off the net, but still able to take a solid swing at it.
Carlotta Trapassi with that deep serve coming up, tied at 1. 1-1 here in the second set. Trapassi sends the ball in. A scattered defense that time as finally Mayhaus able to send it back over, and now Hanley backhands it over. Wiggins sends it to the back row. It's tapped up by Perez, and now Espinal drives her attack into the net.
Trapassi was very effective from the service line against Westerly in the quarterfinals. She has not been able to get a string of serves together here. We'll see if she can get going.
Cranston West with their first lead of the contest is now it's tied at 2 with Trapassi catching the far left side of the net.
Unfortunately for Trapassi, she's followed up one great serve with a service error. She just has not been able to get on a roll.
Here's Manita Minea coming up off the bench to replace Patty Santos. As she comes in to serve, Minea tosses it up, puts the ball into play, dug up by the defense of Cranston West. Hanley pushes it over and bumped up and forced over by Baez. Back row, is it in? Yes. And the kill for Cranston West.
That's a brilliant decision by Hanley. Instead of taking a swing that time, she takes something off it, uses her hands, pushes it right to the corner out of the reach of a Tolman defender.
Well, Cranston West showing some signs of life here early on in the second set. Espinal taps it over with the left hand, but a whistle, and the point being awarded to Cranston West.
Yeah, Cranston West, even though they lost that first set, no reason to panic. They're a strong team. They've had a great season. They know that if they can get their offense on track, they're going to be in good shape.
Jellison with a strong serve. Now Wiggins with a swing in the middle. And she'll get the kill as diving Traficante wasn't enough.
Earlier in the match, Wiggins was hitting the ball deep middle. That time she was hitting a sharper angle. Find some daylight there.
Now Veronica Wiggins back to serve, number 26. Traficante bumps it up now Salisbury, and it's pushed over the top by Matarisi. Excuse me, it was Kelly McDonough, rather, who got the kill on the play.
That ball dropping between three Tolman players. Looked like the Bermuda Triangle there.
And Traficante to serve. Ooh, that ball tough to play by Aguilera.
Anytime that ball reaches the net, you never know how it's going to come out. It could come out with a good bounce or it could go straight down. Always want to try to get that ball before it gets to the net if possible.
Bumped by Perez, and now Espinal with a left-handed swing for the kill. Going up for the block along the front row is a combination of Kelly McDonough and Courtney Lambrisi, but the ball deflected on their side of the net.
Yeah, that was the only angle that Espinal had. She took a good rip, but if that block is penetrating the net, they have a good chance of stuffing that ball.
Espinal serve now goes long. 7-4, Cranston West on top, and Salisbury to serve. Coming back into the game, Gianna Procaccini, as Carlotta Trapassi will head to the Cranston West bench. Courtney Salisbury tosses up the serve. It's played by Espinal and then bumped by Aguilera, tapped over by Olagunchu, dug by Traficante.
Nice job by Cranston West running their offense there, very effective.
Seen a new Cranston West team here in the second set. Salisbury. Near side swing by Mayhaus. Dug by Traficante. Mayhaus again, bumping, setting up Olagunchu, and she'll get the kill.
That time pushing the ball through the block. Cranston West has not formed that block the way they want to. Their hands are not penetrating the net, and there's also too much space between their hands.
Swing on the far side, that time by Procaccini. Couldn't get the ball to go down. A gentle bug by Mayhaus pushes the ball over the net. Then front row attack by Courtney Lambrisi. Here comes Mayhaus again, but she'll drive it into the net for the error.
Last year, Mayhaus played setter sometimes and libero for Tolman. This year, she was moved to outside, trying to give Tolman a little extra offense.
Nicole Matarisi and Asia Baez into the game for Cranston West, and now Baez will have the serve. It's set up by Aguilera, but it was an awkward set, and they struggled to get the volley smoothed out, and Salisbury forced to just punch it over. Here's Aguilera looking near side for Myers. It's dug up by Salisbury. Powerful attack on the far side by Prakikante, and she'll get the point.
Well, Salisbury did a great job of keeping that ball alive with a one-arm dig. Sacrificing the body there.
Procaccini with the dig, or Salisbury with the dig. Procaccini with the kill. Perez receives the serve. It's pushed over by Espinal. Set up by Matarisi. Back to Matarisi again. Passes right in front for Lambrisi. Drive on the far sideline, that time by Patty Santos for the kill.
There you see a rare right side attack by Tolman. They haven't used the right side much. Santos with a nice angle shot there.
10-6. Cranston West on top, and the serve belongs to Angeles Perez. Into the back row, Traficante plays it cleanly. And it's set up, and pushing it over the net is Matarisi. Back to the front row, Aguilera setting up Wiggins. Over the top, Wiggins able to quick hand and bump it again to keep the play alive. Far sideline, Procaccini with a driving shot. Another attack that time by Lambrisi. Lambrisi again, deep corner kill, and a beautifully placed shot into the deep corner for Cranston West, and the crowd on the far side erupts.
Tolman played some good defense there, but Cranston West kept the ball alive and then comes through with that deep corner shot. Beautiful spot.
And now Lambrisi tries her hand at the serve, dug by Espinal. Aguilera looking to the front row. She's got it. Hanley pushes it over, dug by Perez. Pushed over the top that time by Santos, and Hanley back to Espinal, bumped up by Aguilera. Espinal forced to bump it over. Now here comes Matarisi setting far side for Procaccini, and has the Tolman defense scattering. This time a reverse Matarisi looked as though she was going to set, sold it just right, and bumped it behind her for the kill.
That was great timing to do that, because you had the Tolman back row players scrambling on the previous play. They still hadn't gotten it back into position.
The student section for Tolman trying to encourage your team to get back into this one. Lambrisi, a running bump. Driven over the top by Procaccini. Espinal forces the attack over for the kill from the back row.
That's a nice down ball by the lefty.
Karen Mejas not a serve. Tolman down by 5, 12-7. Mejas sends it over. Traficante puts the ball to Hanley, who drives a shot, and it's dug by Mejas. Back row. Pushed over by Matarisi. Mejas again. This time coming near side for Espinal. She'll drive it deep. Salisbury merely misplays it, and Matarisi pushes it to the back row for Perez. Here's Wiggins. Over the top. To the back row for Traficante. Bumps it over. A diving dig attempt by Mejas, but it catches the net, and they could not keep that play alive.
Mejas hesitated just a little bit, and she knows it. She's very frustrated with herself.
Carlotta Trapassi set to go, 13-7. Cranston West on top, and here's the serve. Perez setting it up for Espinal, and she'll toss it over the net. Far corner, Salisbury with a swing, no good. Misplayed at the net by the combination of Espinal and Wiggins, and Cranston West firing on all 8.
Yeah, Tolman's passing is off right now. They're not passing consistently like they did the first game, unable to set up an attack.
14-7 the edge, and the ace for Trapassi.
Nothing special on that serve, controlling it, keeping it in. 3 players there, but nobody went for it.
And a timeout by Cranston West and Roger Toe, and this is 2 different teams that we've seen here in the second set.
Yeah, it's just almost the opposite of what we saw here in the first set. Cranston West dictating the action, certainly the aggressors here, keeping their serves in right now, setting up a consistent attack. What Tolman needs to do is they got to pass that ball to the target so they can get some swings themselves. Everything they're sending over is an easy ball for Cranston West. They got to get some hard swings.
You have to love the crowd. In the background, the high school environment coming to life as their Tolman Tigers down by 8 points, 15-7. And Cranston West on top, certainly looking as though they are the stronger team at this point, much more crisp with their passes.
Well, I understand that Tolman had a huge crowd in their last two matches, senior night against Cumberland and then the quarterfinals against West Warwick, so it looks like it's just been a snowball effect and the crowd has followed them here to URI.
Tolman taking every last second of the timeout to discuss their strategy and kind of get their legs back underneath them. There's Carlotta Trapassi getting set to serve this ball.
Might have even taken a few extra seconds.
And Trapassi over to the west side of play, and Espinal giving it everything she can. And well, just because you don't like the officiating doesn't mean you have to knock him off the upjudge stand over there.
That's referee Beth Spink in harm's way there. This is referee Beth Spink's 36th season officiating high school volleyball here in Rhode Island.
She has a love of the game, that's for certain. Trapassi once again sends up the serve. It's misplayed by Mejas on the initial play, and Trapassi a diving dig. Salisbury pushes it over to keep play alive. Aguilera with the bump. Sets it up for Santos, a powerful hit, but it's played. Here's Salisbury driving from the front row. Played back and a little bit too hot to handle for Jacqueline Aguilera.
You know, if you're Cranston West, you've got to be thrilled that this string of points is happening with Trapassi at the service line. She was a little inconsistent in the first set.
17-7. Over to the far sideline as Salisbury now tries to battle the upright on the far side, and it won't work for her favor as Tolman wins the point.
Yeah, that ball just pushed a little bit too hard towards the antenna.
Benita Minea back into serve. And here she is. Played cleanly. Matarisi for Hanley. Perez with the dig. Aguilera dumps it over the top. Hanley setting for Salisbury. Far side, a driving shot. And it's just inside the line for the kill.
Salisbury took a good rip at that ball.
Well, Salisbury is certainly athletic on that far side.
Wasn't able to take a great approach, but she snapped her wrist hard. Strong swing.
18-8 now. Cranston West on top. Perez for Aguilera, and then is bumped over by Mejas. Dug by Traficante. Perez bumps it up for Wiggins now. Trapasso to keep it alive. Far sideline with a big swing is Salisbury. And Wiggins just plays it at the net.
Yeah, Salisbury has really come alive here in the second set. She's very aggressive on those balls, swinging away.
And a bit intimidating at that. Gilson, the server now for Cranston West, and it's dug in the back row by Traficante. Here's Hanley along the front row. Drives it to the far side, and boy, nobody at Tolman even wanted to touch that one, and it goes down for the kill.
You know, in the first set, Hanley was very effective, and now you've got the 1-2 punch of Hanley and Salisbury.
Extra ball rolling out onto the court, so they'll hold up Gillison from serving. 20-8, and Cranston West starting to extend their advantage here in the second set of play. Tolman leading at 1-0. That ball by Espinal clipped off the hands of the front row, and that'll go for the point and stop the bleeding, and Wiggins will serve.
with a deficit like this, you're hoping to at least gain some momentum going into the next set. Even if you come up short in this one, you want to feel good about how you're playing going into the third set.
Wiggins into the back row, and Salisbury can't quite handle it and goes for the ace.
Tolman's going to have to serve tough to get Cranston West out of their rhythm.
Here's Wiggins again. Far side, Salisbury, where she likes to attack, but that time it goes wide.
Yeah, see, there's the difference with that ball being initiated, a pass that was away from the target as opposed to a perfect pass.
Here's Veronica Wiggins. Traficante pushes it to the front row and Hanley bumps it over. Aguilera setting Olagunchu. Dug up by Trapassi, and Salisbury has to lazily attack it over, but she scatters the defense of Tolman and gets the point.
Coach Tao felt that that ball was mishandled by Salisbury.
Espinal with a kill. And now she will serve. Anna Espinal, senior outside hitter. 21-12, Tolman trailing. Trapassi with the bump. Far side, here's Lambrisi for the kill.
That's a great line shot by Lambrisi, and now she's getting into the act.
If it's not Salisbury, you rotate in Lambrisi on that front line, and she becomes pretty effective. And now the rotation turns where Gianna Procaccini comes into the game and joins that front line as well, and she was effective in the first set. That time, the serve of Salisbury goes right off the head of Kelly McDonough.
The Cranston West has shown a lot more confidence in their attack in this set. The first set, they were tipping a lot. They were dumping the ball over, setting the ball over, and I like the way they're playing right now. Very aggressive with those swings.
Setter Jacqueline Aguilera to serve it up. Here's McDonough with a driving attack. Perez the bump. Third hit for Espinal. Traficante over far side, and Procaccini just can't make good contact with the ball, and it drives down on her side of the net.
Timing was way off there. She jumped way too early on her way down when she contacted the ball.
Aguilera again. Gilson now the setter. And it's jumped over by McDonough for the kill.
Tolman got caught with nobody guarding that sideline.
Now 23-14, Tolman with the advantage. And they have, Cranston West with the advantage. And they have the serve. And Baez sends it just along.
Even though Cranston West has made some unforced errors here in the last few points, you can see a huge difference with their confidence level now versus the first set.
Angie Perez, the libero, to serve, the freshman. Sent into the back row. Salisbury sends it behind her, but it's kept alive that time by Matarisi. Look at that. Powerful attack along the front row by Lambrisi.
Lambrisi just pounces over that overpass, puts the ball away.
It is now set point. Cranston West with a 24-15 lead. Trying to pick up their first set win of the day. Espinal bumps it up to Aguilera. Now Wiggins driving it over the top. Dug up there by Lambrisi, and it's tossed back to Salisbury for a back row attack. On the deck, Perez, and it's mishandled by Aguilera. And set number 2 will go to Cranston West by a score of 25-15.
Cranston West's offense really clicking in that second set. We had everybody getting in the act. Everybody was making contributions. That puts a lot of pressure on the Tolman defense. They want to keep playing like that coming into the third set. If you are Tolman, you've got to make an adjustment. You've got to start passing the ball better and playing much better defense. Get back to how you were playing in the first set.
It's the girls' Division II semifinal battle between Cranston West and Tolman. Cranston West winning set number 2, 25-15, and we're knotted at 1. on the Rhode Island Interscholastic League Network. Back here at the Keaney Gymnasium, the campus of the University of Rhode Island in Kingston, Rhode Island. We're in the third set of the semifinal matchup in the Girls Volleyball Division II Championship for the Rhode Island Interscholastic League. They're tied at 1. Tolman winning the first set 25-20 with Cranston West in dominating fashion, winning the second set 25-15. And Tolman is definitely back on their heels and a bit discouraged at this point after losing that second set in a dominating way.
It took a while for Cranston West to get going tonight, but in that second set, we saw their offense start to play like they did during the season. You had Lambrisi, Salisbury, Hanley, all putting balls down, and with authority, for that matter, not just off-speed shots, but really crushing some balls at Tolman. And after a while, you can only dig so many of those balls, and it really will wear down your defense.
Well, Tolman finally breaks the huddle. Certainly look to get their legs back under them here in this third set. We are knotted at 1 in set number 3. Officials just double checking the rotation as Perez will come in and Olagunchu will take a seat on the bench for Tolman.
Tolman is going to have to slow down Cranston West's offense by not giving them easy balls, which will allow them to set up their attack. And they've got to put a little bit more on the ball that's coming over the net. They also have to serve a little bit tougher.
Trapassi will open us up with the first serve of the third set for Cranston West. Over to the far side for Espinal, who drives her first attack into the net.
Trapassi's serve was a big weapon in the second set. Just like her team, it took her a while to get into it, get into a rhythm, but the second set, she was a huge factor from the service line.
Here's Trapassi. Into the back row, set up for Espinal, but it was way too wide. Good time Santos mistimed the set.
Trapassi on a roll again from deep.
Serves again. Santos bumps it over for Espinal. A gentle attack over to the far side. Now Matarisi sets it up for Hanley, who takes a swing. And it's dug by Aguilera. Now Perez on the second hit for Espinal. Back row, Tropicanti. A swing by Salisbury. And it goes just long, but they're going to say it was tipped, and Salisbury will get the kill.
Yeah, that ball was deflected off the block there. Good call by the officials.
3-0, Cranston West picking up right where they left off in set number 2. Trapassi, a deep serve that goes past the end line and out of bounds.
And if you're Coach Ferry, you can live with that. You don't mind a service error once in a while if you're scoring 3 in a row off the serve.
And Manea comes back in to serve for Tolman. Hanley Setting Salisbury. Hanley with the dig. Espinal keeps it alive. Pushed over for Aguilera to Espinal, who for the second time in a similar attack mistiming the jumps and sends that ball right into the net.
Yeah, if that ball is going outside to Espinal, that's got to be pushed out a little bit further. Espinal is left-handed, so that means it's got to go out a little bit more than you would to a right-handed player.
And a little bit higher, too.
Yes.
Espinal with the front row dig that time. And we'll drive it up over the top, and going to call her with the violation.
A net violation called by referee Dave Nickerson. Cranston West players look bewildered by that call.
And Veronica Wiggins now with the serve. 4-2, Cranston West out in front, and a service error by Wiggins. Play back underway, tapped over the top of the net that time by Lambrisi, and she'll get a kill.
Yeah, Lambrisi was all over that. We saw her do one of those in the second set. Again, she's ready for that ball coming over. Quick leaper, and then puts the ball down to a good spot.
Traficante, the server for Cranston West, and it goes wide.
Even though Cranston West has missed a couple of serves here, I like that they're playing aggressive. They're going for it. If you're conservative, usually the other team is going to take it to you.
Trapassi brings the ball up and driven by Lambrisi for the kill.
Lambrisi has really turned it on starting in the second set. Cranston West with so many weapons on offense.
Gillison to serve. Perez with the dig. Mejas sets it up for Espinal. Now near side, here's the backhanded hit by Lambrisi, but it didn't have a lot of mustard on it. The ball goes out of play.
Yeah, she tried to cut that ball, but she just missed the sideline.
Patty Santos back into the game for Tolman. As heading to the bench is Manita Minea. And Olgunti at the front line. Able to block that one and keep it on the other side of the net.
That ball passed a little bit too tight by Cranston West to do anything with it.
Brisi again. Over to the far side, here's Mejas. And she is unable to push that over into violation. More substitutions being made for Cranston West, and coming back into the game is Nicole Matarisi, the setter.
Tolman struggling to get solid attack here.
Asia Baez, who's back into the game, tossed that one up and could not track that ball down, and Tolman will have another point.
Yeah, that time they got away with punching the ball over, and they were effective in the first set with some tips and just finding the open areas, but at some point they're going to have to start setting up a good attack.
Here's Perez on the serve. Tolman in red, Cranston West in white. On the right side of your screen. Matarisi bumps it, puts it into the back row for Lambrisi, but that swing was brought up. Now Mejas. She's blocked by the combination of Labrisi and Matarisi.
That's a tough matchup for Mejas, the short attacker against a solid block there.
And now Lambrisi back to serve. 9-6 advantage, Cranston West. Aguilera setting for Santos. Kept alive by Hanley, and they'll send it back to Tolman. Aguilera again, this time for Mejas. Bumped up by Salisbury, set by Matarisi, and driven by Procaccini for the kill.
An off-speed shot there. I don't know if it's what she intended, but that ball landed between three Tolman players.
And Courtney Lambrisi The junior middle blocker will continue to serve. That ball played at the net, but kept alive by Santos. For Tolman. Procaccini again dumps it into the middle, misplayed nearly by Tolman, but Espinal able to fire it back over the net. Matarisi now setting up. Hanley goes deep into the corner. Espinal nearly misplayed it, and it's bumped over on a reverse by Aguilera. Tapped over that time by Matarisi. Aguilera bumps behind, tries to set up Santos, not effective, as this is a long volley, but has been a little bit helter-skelter. Aguilera now dumping over the top and racing in to try to dig it.
We saw Aguilera try to do that a couple of times in the first set. It didn't quite work. That time it was perfectly placed.
It was Baez who was streaking in. Couldn't get there in time. And Mejas clips the top of the net. Salisbury wisely plays it. Now Hanley with the attack and the error.
Mistimed a little bit by Hanley. Didn't get good contact on it. Ball went off her fingertips.
And Karen Mejas back to serve for Tolman, as Tolman is starting to get some life back in their game. Salisbury to bump it up ahead. Matarisi for Hanley. It's a great combination that results in many plays like that. A beautiful kill.
Hanley that time choosing to go line with that shot, wide open. Smart decision by Hanley.
Trapassi, who's had the ability to string together several serves, and Espinal, who plays it off the antenna. Tolman showing flashes of brilliance throughout this set, but they still continue to have that scattered offense.
Yeah, they're lacking the consistency that they need here to get an attack going.
And Trapassi with the service error. It's now 12-9, Cranston West on top.
Well, that time Trapassi not able to get on a roll with her serve, and we'll see if Tolman can cash in on that error.
Minea back into serve as Santos heads for the bench and gets some instruction by the coaching staff along the way. Misplayed that time by Baez. And she'll get the receive error as Minea picks up an ace. Tolman continuing to stay in this one, though, even though they've had some errors along the way here in this third set. Minea with the serve, and that's the kind of error that we're talking about. She'll drive it into the net. 13-10, now Cranston West with the serve.
Tolman's had a tough time the last two sets, putting more than 2 or 3 points together.
Alexa Gilson to serve. Well, this one well out of the reach of the Tolman defense, and Perez streaking in to try to make everything out of that play, but just didn't have it in her to send it back that far over the net.
There's a lot of real estate back there. That's a long ways to go to try to get the ball over the net.
Gilson taps it over. Minea concedes the bump, and now Wiggins bumping it over the net. Traficante to keep it alive, and Salisbury driving. Perez with the dig, but it comes out of play on the near sideline.
Now, whether it's Lambrisi or Salisbury or Hanley, all three of them are just crushing balls Tolman's way.
Gilson again. Mejas bypasses for Espinola. Espinola again. And it's good. Excuse me, Espinal with another kill.
Now, Traficante did a nice job of digging the ball, but a little bit too hard. Passes it all over the net where Espinal was able to get on top of it.
Here's Veronica Wiggins. Tolman sticking around. Traficante. Salisbury, now blocked by Oligante. Bola Oligante. And an ace by Wiggins as it's misplayed by Salisbury.
That time Traficante trying to do a bicycle kick to keep the ball alive, which is legal, but didn't work out. Timeout, Cranston West.
even though they lead at 15-13. And Cranston West has had the opportunity to really take it to Tolman, but why haven't they been able to take advantage here in this third set?
Well, Tolman's doing some damage from the service line right now. Cranston West having a hard time getting the ball to the setter. When they have, their offense has been lights out tonight, but right now their passing is off. If they can get the passing back on track, they should be in good shape. They're hitting very well the last 2 sets, but they got to get the pass right to the target.
Well, Tolman in their huddle trying to get back into this one. Now only down by 2 after losing the second set by 10 points. And that's got to be a psychological battle when you lose a set by 10 points in a semifinal game.
Well, all you can do is just put it behind you. You got to think to the next set. You can't worry about what's already happened and just realize that we had a bad set. We made some mistakes. We gave some points away that we shouldn't have, and just try to focus on what you do best. For Tolman, they're not going to play the net game that Cranston West does. They just don't have this same hitting ability, so they're going to have to dink and dunk and get their serves in and try to find open areas, and that's more their style of play.
So Wiggins back to serve one more time for Tolman, as Tolman tries to rally the troops. Traficante brings the ball up, and it's set for Salisbury. Driving it, Wiggins with the dig, sends it right over the top, and Salisbury comes right back and sends it down for the kill.
Boy, we've seen that a few times by Salisbury. You pass that ball over the net like that. Lambrisi's had a few of those. They're just going to put that ball away every time.
Now Kristen Traficante back to serve. She's done an excellent job in the libero spot. She's a junior today. Mejas keeps it alive. Now Espinal over to the far side, and she'll score as Gilson can't handle it.
That ball looked like it was either deflected by the net or the blocker. Gilson tried to play the ball, but it came in an angle that she wasn't expecting.
Ball kick loose, goes well down into the left corner here at the Keaney Gymnasium. And now Espinal will have it back.
Now Tolman plays in one of the smallest gyms in the state, so this is like playing in an airport hangar.
This building does have a very large feel to it with the high seats, and Espinal's dig goes straight into the net.
Lambrisi and the rest of the Cranston West hitters continue to pour it on.
Perez in the return goes well long.
That's a tough top spin serve. You see that top spin coming, you know that ball's going to drop. You really got to step up and pass it. Can't stay deep. Roger Tao doesn't like what he sees here with his serve receive, immediately calls a timeout.
Yeah, time is running out. You don't want to go down 2-1 when you're this close here in the third set. You want to be able to stay in this game and to be able to come out of here with the victory if you're Tolman. Be able to set yourself up for the opportunity to win the game in the fourth set.
Tolman's got to start playing better defense. They got to start coming up with some digs and maybe throw in a couple of blocks. That will start to frustrate Cranston West a little bit. And Cranston West is going to get their kills. They're a strong offensive team, one of the best offensive teams in Division II this year. And that's fine. You can live with that, but you've got to also come up with some plays of your own on defense and make them work harder.
Well, Cranston West receiving their instructions from head coach Tom Ferry. And they will break the huddle, trying to go up 2-1.
The last 2 sets, the Cranston West hitters are really loose. They're swinging away without any fear of the block. Tolman has not been able to put up a solid block against these hitters, and they've struggled to get some balls up in the back row. So that really takes the weight and the pressure off the Cranston West hitters. They can just go up there relaxed and swing away.
And the confidence will grow exponentially as those balls hit the hardwood. But that'll take it out pretty quickly as Salisbury drives her serve into the net for the error.
Well, once again, as we've seen the last 2 nights, coming out of a timeout, a missed serve, it happens so often.
Ball put back into play. Far sideline, and Hanley with the drive. Well, back and forth with this one. And Cranston West able to pick up that point, and Asia Baez coming back into the game. We haven't seen much of Hanley here in this third set. It was McDonough along the front row that had popped that ball over. Mejas sends the ball over. Traficante with the dig, pushed up by Matarisi. Attack in the front row by Lambrisi, and that combination works so well.
Yeah, Lambrisi's been on fire the last 2 sets. Hanley did most of her damage in the first set, and now other hitters are doing their part.
20-15 now, Cranston West on top. And back to serve once again is Baez, one of the defensive specialists on this Cranston West team. Olagunchu fires an attack, and it's good for the kill.
That's a nice swing. You'd like to see more of that from Tolman. Get their offense on track, start taking some good swings of their own.
Outside of Olagunchu, though, you really don't have that much of a presence along that front line.
No, they've had trouble getting the ball to Espinel on the outside. Wiggins has had a couple of good swings, but she's also had trouble getting on track.
Angie Perez now back to serve. Perez tosses it up. It's kept in play. Now Procaccini passes it far side for Lambrisi, who puts it over the net. Espinal now is called for the carry. Boy, Espinal, a little bit of indecisiveness on that play, was considering pushing it over for the attack and then decided to set the ball instead, and that half-a-second decision cost her the carry.
Yeah, referee Beth Spink saying that ball was in her hands a little too long.
And Lambrisi putting her head in her hands as she realized she gave up a good opportunity with the serve error. Now 21-17, Cranston West leading the way in the third set. It's tied at 1 overall. Tolman took set 1. Cranston West took set number 2. Far side hit for Procaccini for the kill.
Well, Aguilera dove for that ball from the back right position, but that ball, I think, should have been played by Perez, who was a little bit closer to it.
Trapassi back into the game to serve. 3 points away from winning the set are the Falcons of Cranston West High School. Trapassi gets the ball over cleanly. Espinal driving an attack on the far side. That's a left-sided swing that she needs to get her game back going once again.
Yeah, that's something that Tolman has not seen nearly enough of. That's a strong attack by Espinal. It's unusual to see a left-handed player play on the left side of the court. The strong side for a lefty is on the right side, so that's why that set has got to get out there where she can get a good rip at it.
Play is put into motion. Salisbury, a high swing from nearly the back row, and now Espinal taps it over the top and gets another kill. 2 in a row. Yeah,
that time that ball was set perfectly where Espinal could take a good swing at it. That ball was right in front of her left shoulder. That's what they need.
Medina Manea on the serve. 22-19. Tolman trying to stick around in this one. Set number 3. Manea tosses it up. Dug by Traficante. Matarisi with some trickery tries to send it over for the attack. Didn't work, and now she'll set up Salisbury. Espinal for Aguilera, who bumps it over, and dug by Traficante, who's forced to attack. Manea. Now Aguilera for Wiggins. Back row, a whistle, and a violation. And it's going to go against Cranston West. It looked like it was Matarisi who clipped the net.
Well, you're seeing some unforced errors here by Cranston West. They had a chance to put this game away. Now you see a couple of service errors, a net violation.
They've allowed Tolman to climb back in. Manea again on the serve, bumped up by Matarisi and swung on that time by Hanley, who gets the kill. Hanley back in on the front row for Cranston West and the Tigers, and the Falcons, and she's making a big difference.
Yeah, that was great timing on that hit. She needed to stop that run by Tolman. Hanley came through under pressure there.
The Falcons now lead 23-20. Gillison, back row, and the ace.
That ball served right on the sideline. Tough spot.
Set point for Cranston West. And a timeout is called by Tolman and Roger Tao.
No margin for error now for Tolman. You just hope that coming out of this timeout, Cranston West gives you the ball back, either with a missed serve or an easy serve that you can convert for a kill. But then you got to get on a roll of your own.
No more errors for Tolman, or they'll be down 2-1 after 3 sets. Cranston West going over the final strategy, and the difference of having Alicia Hanley in the game for Cranston West is very apparent.
Yeah, she's playing very well right now, just as she did in the first set. She was a huge factor. Even though they came up short in that first set, she accounted for most of their kills. We see her now coming through under pressure when it counts most.
Cranston West out on the court first to try to put on the pressure as Alexa Gillison back to serve, looking to get one more point. And the victory in set number 3. Gillison puts the ball into motion, and she'll get the ace. And set number 3 will go to Cranston West, 25-20.
Gillison made sure that serve went in. She got a little bit more air under it, served deep. Mayhaus looked like she was unsure whether to let it go out or play it, a little indecisive. And as a result, she mishandled it a little bit. Cranston West, with all the momentum right now, they're playing well on defense and offense. They made a few errors down the stretch there, but they're on their game. I mean, they're playing with a lot of confidence, and they just got to continue that if they want to close out the match in 4 sets.
So we will head to the 4th set right after this. Cranston West taking a 25-20 victory in the 3rd set. Now they lead 2-1 in the semifinal of the Rhode Island Interscholastic League State Championship for Division II Girls Volleyball right here on the Rhode Island Interscholastic League Network.
This week's volleyball matches here at Gymnasium. Yesterday, the Division I semifinals, Coventry and Mount St. Charles 3 sets to 2. East Providence defeated Rhode 3 games to 1. Earlier today, in the Division II semifinals, the first game, Exeter West Greenwich defeated East Greenwich 3 sets to 0. Join us on Saturday, November 10th, Championship Saturday here at Gymnasium. Division III Championship at 12 p.m. And the winner of Shea and Johnston versus the winner of Alcohol, Rush, and Pleasant. Those matches being played tonight. Division II Championship held here at Keaney Gym at 2:30. Division I Championship Coventry East Providence 5 p.m.
Well, time is running out for the Tolman Tigers as they are now down 2-1 here as we enter set number 4 on the Rhode Island Interscholastic League Network at the Keaney Gymnasium at the University of Rhode Island. Getting set to settle the issue here is that last set went to Cranston West, and they have all the momentum and all the energy and enthusiasm on their side at this point in the match.
Yeah, the Cranston West started to falter a little bit towards the end of that set, but for the most part, they're playing great on offense. They're getting the ball to their big hitters as they need to. Very effective on offense. If Tolman is to get back into this match, what they need to do is get some attack going of their own. They're just not getting enough swings. If they start doing that, then they can force Cranston West to have to play some defense in the back row, something that they haven't had to do a lot of in this match. Tolman needs to also get the passes more to the target. The passes have been a little inconsistent tonight. As you see the passes get better, you're going to see more swings and more points by Tolman.
And I think if you're Tolman, you've got to take advantage of the fact that you did see Cranston West show a few signs of weakness. And if you don't take advantage of that early on in the set, it may be difficult to overcome as time goes on.
Yeah, I think if you're Tolman, you still got to feel that if you can put a little bit of pressure on Cranston West defense, you can get back in this, and it's still anybody's match. Cranston West has shown brilliance on offense, but they haven't shown that they're a great defensive team because they haven't had to. They haven't had to play too many hard hits from Tolman, so test them, see what they can do on defense, and then that gives your chance of winning much greater.
In order to do that, though, I would imagine that you would have to take a couple of risks. And are the Tolman Tigers willing and able to do that tonight?
Well, you're not going to win if you play conservative. So when you're serving, you got to serve tough. That means you're going to miss a couple, of course, but you're also going to force some bad passes. When you're hitting, same thing. You've got to hit good angles, but you also have to put something on it. If you put over easy balls, Cranston West is too good. They're just going to make easy work out of that, and the ball's going to come back fast at you, and they're going to put the balls down. So you do have to, there is a fine line there. You've got to play aggressive and smart, but you got to make sure that you minimize the errors.
The Tolman Tigers will open things up with the serve, but Hanley thought she had a kill there for a moment, and Keaney able to keep it alive, and Salisbury forced to just bump it over. It's kept alive. Now Aguilera bumping for Wiggins, who gets the kill.
Wiggins with a nice swing to the back right, just gets nice top spin on the ball.
We've talked about the student section here for Tolman. They rotate from one side of the bleachers to the other side of the bleachers with their Tigers, as the teams do with benches.
Well, I saw Captain Karen Mayhouse signal to them to shift over so that the fans are on their side.
Set number 4 tied at 1 with Cranston West leading 2-1. And Trapassi now coming in to serve for the Falcons. Trapassi up over the top, then near side. Here comes Espinal just to bump it over. Try to keep it in play. Now Matarisi setting up for Salisbury. And those are the few mistakes that you haven't seen Cranston West take throughout much of this contest. But now if you're Tolman, you've got to be able to jump all over them.
Yeah, there's a rare hitting error by Cranston West. We haven't seen much of that. They've hit a high percentage all night. So like you said, Joe, if Tolman's going to get back into this match, they got to take advantage of those mistakes.
Manita Manea back in to serve now for Tolman as Salisbury bumps it up over. Aguilera with the attack, dug by Trafficante. Over to Matarisi, setting up Hanley for the kill.
Well, Cranston West gave Tolman a free ball, and rather than Aguilera sending the ball back over, I'd rather see her set the ball to Wiggins or Espinal on that. Wiggins had a nice swing on her last attempt. Go right back to her.
Gilson back in to serve for Cranston West. Back row, Mayhaus keeps it alive. Then Menea up ahead for Espinal, and she will be whistled for a double hit.
Now, we talked about taking some chances. This is where Tolman needs to take some swings instead of just trying to set the ball over the net.
That serve deep by Gilson, and she knew it right away. We're tied at 3, and Veronica Wiggins now back to serve. Bumped up by Trafficante. Set for Salisbury. And the dig, that time for Tolman. Olagunchu forcing it over with the attack. Salisbury again. The attack can't make it work. Espinal firing a long-range attack cross-court for the kill.
Great defense, set that up. Nice pass right to the setter. Espinal with the angle shot. That's what they got to do, keep swinging. Put some pressure on Cranston West to play defense.
Wiggins again. 4-3 advantage for Tolman, the first time they have led since the opening set. Hanley pushes it over. Aguilera setting Espinal. Didn't put enough heat on the hit, but Salisbury bumps it to the back row. Menea bumps it, but boy, out of play, and Wiggins had to go chasing after it and didn't have a chance.
Menea's got to get in better position to play that ball. She's got to move back, get the ball in front of her.
Kristen Trafficante back to serve. That time Menea plays it cleanly. Olagunchu firing a one-handed attack. Slightly out of position, but Aguilera saying that was my fault with the set.
That was a tough ball to handle. What hitter has to do in that situation is turn her hip so that she's facing the court.
Olagunchu sends it over again. Olagunchu and Espinal trying to create a wall at the net. And boy, Olagunchu on that particular play was all over it. but on that last hit made contact with the net ever so slightly.
A little overeager there. She had 3 balls in a row that she played, and then on the 4th attempt, just got the top of the net.
Here is Traficante is along the near sideline, far sideline for Tolman. Roger Tao talking over to Anna Espinal, and then she'll return to her position, and they will discuss the call with the up judge.
Coach Tao asking his floor captain get an explanation from the up official.
Yeah, look at Olaguncu and making that contact with the net. It was slight, if at all.
What might be in question here by Coach Tao is whether the call was made by the up official. It's normally a call you see made by the down official. The up official is allowed to make that call, but usually the down official is the one that calls the net violations.
And that'll just about end the discussion for the moment. Coach Tao pleading his case along the far side, trying not to give anything up at this point in the semifinal. As his Tolman Tigers now down in the 4th set. Traficante puts the ball into play up to Aguilera. Now Olaguncu chasing after it, taps it over. Olaguncu again, the second ball in a row that she'll play. Comes back over the net, pushed up by Mejas, and then Aguilera with the attack. Salisbury along the far side, a driving attack that's good.
Wow, that's a tremendous line shot by Salisbury. Between the location and the velocity on that ball, that's a tough ball to defend.
Traficante to serve one more time. 7-4 the advantage, make it 8. And she'll get an ace. And Tolman back on their heels here in the 4th set.
Tolman misreading that serve. They thought the ball was going long, landed about a foot or 2 inside the end line.
Almost misplayed by Mejas and then pushed over by Espinal. Bumped in the back row by Perez. Set for Aguilera. Olaguncu trying to send it over, and she got a kill.
Nice tip by Olaguncu there. Very careful not to touch the net.
Her style and form is not necessarily traditional, but she has the height that seems to be able to make up for it. Over to the far sideline, and Lambrisi back to her old tricks with a kill.
Well, there's another line shot, and definitely see a weakness on that side on defense by Tolman on that line. Cranston West is exploiting that right now.
Now Courtney Salisbury to serve for Cranston West and the Falcons. Tosses it up, puts the ball into play, and it's dug by Tolman. Olaguncu sends it over, and a backhand attempt by McDonough. Strike in the front row by Lambrisi, and that combination, when they are together, Gilson, when she sets to Lambrisi, they're very difficult to beat.
Yeah, that was a one-on-one matchup in the middle. Olaguncu got a piece of it, but unable to come up with the block. Went off her hands out of bounds.
10-5 now. Cranston West starting to open it up a little bit. Perez to Aguilera. Now to Mejas, sending a driving attack, but Olaguncu digs it. Espinal back to Mejas again, sends it to the back row, and it's dug by Salisbury. Over the far side, Procaccini. She'll send it over the net. Perez bumps it up for Mejas. Far side bumped over by Procaccini. Now Aguilera to punch it over, scattering the Cranston West defense, and it's backhanded back over by Lambrisi. Aguilera on the run. Traficante the set. Setting up for Procaccini, and it's kept up by Mejas. A long volley here. And it'll end with McDonough driving it into the net.
Tolman a little fortunate there. That ball drifted over the net. Cranston West able to get on top of the ball.
And the ace being registered by Aguilera as the ball again tipping the top of the net, just trickling onto the Cranston West side of the floor, now 10-7.
Well, when you're losing, you'll take a little bit of luck like that.
But luck won't strike twice, and Aguilera catches the net for the service error.
At this juncture in the match, you can't afford service errors like that. Got to make sure it at least clears the net. You may serve a ball that might be headed out of bounds, but there's always a chance that your opponent will touch it.
And the reverse is true as Asia Baez returns the favor, and Tolman will get the serve back once again. This time it'll be Angie Perez.
When your opponent gives you the serve like that, you don't want to return the favor.
A shouting match among the student sections here in the Keaney Gymnasium, and that one set up for Lambrisi, firing an attack into the back row, but it's played back out of play, and the point for Cranston West. And Lambrisi will serve.
Tolman fans wanting so badly for their team to get on a roll here.
12-8 as Cranston West becomes a little bit closer and trying to make their way to the championship battle on Saturday, but that serve by Lambrisi goes out of play.
Their second missed serve in a row here.
Traficante will now come into the game as Lambrisi heads for the sideline. Mejas the server now. Trying to dump it over was Espinal. Couldn't quite do it. She'll try it again, near corner. And an effective dump over the net. And it's in for the kill.
There you saw 3 overpasses in a row by Cranston West, and on the third one, Tolman finally cashed in.
Karen Mejas trying to pick it up another point here on the serve. Bumped up by Baez and now sent over by Hanley. Back row dig. Wiggins to drive it up over the top, but Hanley with the block on the front row.
Well, whenever Cranston West has forced Aguilera to play that first ball, Tolman has been out of sync on offense.
Trapassi back into the game to serve.
Here comes that deep floater.
Misplayed once again by Tolman, and Aguilera able to keep it alive. Matarisi back in for Hanley. Matarisi and Hanley, a dangerous combination as well on that front row for Cranston West. They have 2 setters. Here's Matarisi over to the far side. Salisbury driving it just long.
Well, Hanley crushed that first attempt, and Aguilera in great defensive position, nice and low, popped the ball up.
You have to credit Salisbury with the aggressiveness on that swing.
Yep, she's got to keep swinging along with the Cranston West hitters. They're going to get more in than they miss.
Matarisi trying some trickery like she did in the first set. And it's sent back over by Aguilera for the kill. Boy, Aguilera is watching what Matarisi is doing on the other side of the net and said, you know what, I'm the setter and I could do that too.
That was a little surprising. I didn't know that she could get up that high. Aguilera, not the tallest player, also hampered with a bit of a knee injury.
You're not the only one surprised. I think the entire Cranston West team is surprised as well. Here's Aguilera. This time she'll pass for Wiggins, who's blocked by Hanley. Hanley so dominating at the net.
Yeah, she won that battle against Wiggins. Hanley's got great jumping instincts, great timing.
She's agile.
She's shown that same ability on the basketball court.
She's quick. And the error for Gilson, who has done pretty well serving today for Cranston West. And this one's starting to get nip and tuck. 14-13 with Cranston West on top, and Veronica Wiggins now with the chance to serve in the 4th set. Wiggins sends it over for an ace, and it's tied at 14.
There's not going to be any panic by Tolman being down 2 sets to 1, because that's what's happened in the last 2 matches, and they were able to pull out the victory. So they've been here before.
Wiggins again trying to regain the lead on the serve. Brought up by Salisbury and played at the net by Aguilera, and you could see the frustration out of Kelly McDonough.
Oh, you sure did. She slammed the ball to the floor after that play.
So Cranston West with the timeout, and boy, Nicole Matarisi showing some of that senior leadership, saying to Kelly McDonough, it's all right, kid. Keep your head in it. We're going to win this thing.
Well, if you're Cranston West, you just got to keep swinging. That's your game. Even though they've made some hitting errors here, you don't want to start going with off-speed shots. They should keep swinging away. They can get back on track with all it's going to take is 1 or 2 kills, and they'll be fine.
Well, Tolman has gotten themselves back into this one, now leading 15-14, and they trail in the overall set count 2-1 to Cranston West.
Now, Tolman is playing much better on defense now than they did earlier, getting their serves in. I believe Wiggins is serving, and she's served very well tonight. One thing we've seen from Tolman in the playoffs, no matter what the score is, they're not going to back down. They're going to keep fighting.
And this fourth set has certainly done one thing, is gotten the crowd much more animated. This environment here, great game environment, now has the crowd into it, and it's become a lot louder here in the Keaney Gymnasium. Veronica Wiggins sends it up over the top, and it's bumped up by Salisbury. Tapped ahead by Hanley over the top, and Minea is able to keep it in play. Here's Espinal, a driving shot, and she attacks it right into the net.
And Minea made a great pass on defense. Espinal unable to get the ball over the net.
Kristen Traficante with 15 up on the scoreboard. She wears number 11 and sends it in. Minea with the bump. Aguilera off balance, but is played by Mejas. Sent over that time by Lambrisi. Aguilera now the set for Espinal. And the ball will fall on the Cranston West side. And you know, for the first time since probably the first set, you're starting to see a bit of frustration out of Cranston West.
Yeah, you have players a little bit upset there that the ball is dropped and nobody went for it.
Well, they want to put it away in 4 sets if they can. They don't want to have to force a 5th. Tapped over that time by Lambrisi, and she responds. Tied at 16.
She is fired up right now. She hit that ball with a little bit of anger.
Boy, a second ago, she was disappointed in the miscommunication along that front row, and now it's completely opposite. Courtney Salisbury on the serve. Aguilera for Olgunchu. Sends it over. Tapping it back behind. McDonough plays it. It was a gentle attack. Again, we've seen this before, but the Tolman defense just couldn't handle it.
Some miscommunication there on Tolman. You had Jackie Aguilera taking that first ball where someone else should be stepping up and taking the ball and passing it to her.
Now Courtney Salisbury. And it'll go for an ace. Well, Cranston West starting to get back on top of their game here. And that's going to be enough for Roger Tao to call a timeout.
Yeah, you sense the tide turning there. We saw moments ago Cranston West was getting a little frustrated, lost their poise a little bit, but now they're back on track. Tolman has got to stop the momentum right now coming out of this timeout. We have mentioned the impressive hitting by Cranston West tonight, but I would be remiss if I didn't point out the passing and defense by Traficante, the libero for Cranston West. She has done an excellent job back there, both on serve, receive, and defense. She's been all over the place. Yeah, she's not somebody that we've really talked about quite a bit, but she certainly has created the magic for Cranston West. Now you can see that Tolman is making a conscientious effort to keep the ball away from her, which is smart, but she's still managing to track down a lot of balls. She's a great talent, and she's certainly shown her versatility today. Traficante will lead her team back out on the floor. We talk about the play along that front line. Kelly McDonough has had her flashes of brilliance throughout the day. Lambrisi has been strong. We've seen the work out of the setters and the attackers, such as Salisbury and Hanley. It's been a team effort for Cranston West so far, and they're trying to put the period on it here in the
fourth set as Salisbury gets us underway again. Espinal sets it up over the near side for Mejas, and she'll push it over, bumped by Traficante. Over to the far side for Cranston, and she'll send it in, and it goes long as the Cranston West team is calling for the tip, but it's not going to go their favor.
Yeah, players and coaches thought there was a deflection. Referees disagreed, did not see a deflection there.
18-17. Aguilera sending it in, and she will get the ace, and it's tied at 18.
Well, if you're Cranston West, when a call doesn't go your way, you've got to get it out of your mind immediately. You could tell that they were still frustrated over the lack of a call there.
The time for mistakes is over. Well, a net violation. Kelly McDonough along the front row.
Cranston West had played with a lot of poise all night, but we've seen the last few minutes they're getting a little unraveled.
Jacqueline Aguilera on the serve. Pushed over by Lambrisi, and that one goes well wide. And now it is 20-18, and Cranston West is forced to call a timeout as their game plan is starting to unravel.
Yeah, that mistake clearly a result of frustration there. No reason to do too much with it. Just keep that ball alive and then play defense. But for the first time tonight, Cranston West seems to be losing their poise a little bit. Cranston West is a team, as you alluded to earlier, Joe. It's not made up of superstars. They have everyone on that team plays a big role. They're all contributors. We've seen other teams the past two nights where you can point to one or two players that have helped carry the team to victory. Cranston West is not made up like that. They have a bunch of players that are about in the same talent range. Everyone has a role. Everyone has a job to do. And when they're all clicking, it's something to watch. Right now, they're just not on the same page.
Well, they're not out of it just yet. Only 2 points behind Tolman as they creep in on the close of the fourth set. And we'll have to see if Cranston West can sneak their way back around Tolman, or if Tolman can force a fifth set and a chance to play in the championship still stays alive for them. Jacqueline Aguilera back to serve.
Cranston West just needs to collect their thoughts here, collect themselves, get back to playing volleyball.
Salisbury over to the far sideline for Lambrisi, and it's kept alive. Perez bumping for Espinal, and she'll send it over, and it's in. And the kill as Salisbury was trying to track it down, thought the ball was going to go well past the end line, but it didn't, and it came right inside in the inbounds line.
That was a terrific shot by Espinal. Put enough topspin on the ball to make it drop inside the end line.
Dug by Salisbury and sent over. Driven by Lambrisi, and a tip and a kill.
Boy, every time Lambrisi gets a kill, she is fired up.
Lambrisi is a player that could definitely change the momentum, but she's going to need a little help. Need somebody like Traficante to step up. Traficante, you could tell, though, she's more of a quiet leader. And leads with her skills out on the court. Ola Gunchu sends it out. Traficante to bump it. Backwards pass over the net. That time by Lambrisi. And here comes Mejas to send it over. Dug by Lambrisi. Lambrisi with the swing. Perez to dig. Mejas misplays it. And Perez doesn't have enough. 21-20. Cranston West with the serve, down by one.
Now, Perez has done a great job tonight, especially for a freshman playing in the semifinals. That time unable to get the ball over.
And Espinal misplays it. It's tied at 21 rather. And Baez on the serve for Cranston West. And she will have an error.
Boy, that was a gift right there. Cranston West had Tolman on the ropes and just gives the serve back to them.
That could be the serve that allows Tolman to get back in this. Now 22-21, Tolman with the advantage, and Angie Perez to serve. Crowd on their feet. Well, at least the student section is. Matarisi sets it up for Lambrisi and doesn't quite have it. Matarisi again for Lambrisi. Wiggins with a one-handed attack. Far side, Procaccini sends it over. Now Mejas tries her hands at it. Lambrisi, a powerful hit into Espinal, and it's tied at 22.
Lambrisi is not messing around up there. She's taking a hard swing every time she has a chance to.
Lambrisi on the serve. Can she lead her team to the championship? Nearly misplayed at the net, and Mejas keeps it alive. Matarisi setting Hanley for the kill. You've got your best front row right now for Cranston West, 23-22.
Yeah, Hanley is going to make a good decision almost every time with the ball. That time, a deep tip to the right side of the court. Finds the opening, timeout Tolman.
23-22. And Cranston West has come from behind to retake the lead.
Right now, anybody's game could come down to a serve here or there, a missed serve, perhaps a kill by Hanley.
Well, if you're Tolman, you can't consider yourself out of it yet. You've fought back before.
That's right. The only thing you're thinking, Tolman, if you're Tolman right now, is you've got to get a pass here. You've got to assume that Cranston West is going to get their serve in, got to get the ball to the target, nice pass, so you can get a good swing at it.
Just have to reduce those mistakes. 23-22, Cranston West on top, and they take the floor. Tolman using every second of the timeout to discuss their strategy and refocus on the final couple of points. They need it to go to a fifth set if they want to play in the championship game.
If Tolman can force a fifth set, they've got to like their chances. They've been to many five-set matches this year.
Lambrisi on the serve, and this is a big one. And she gets the ace. Cranston West 1 point away from the title game.
This is a pressure serve here for Lambrisi.
They've got their ideal front line. Lambrisi on the serve, and a Tolman team that can't make any more mistakes. But Lambrisi makes one there. And that one goes just long. 24-23. Tolman has a chance, but they got to win this one. And the pressure is on.
Coach Roger Tau cannot watch.
And it's going to be a service error that decides it. And Cranston West is headed to the title game in the Rhode Island Interscholastic League Division II Girls Volleyball Championship.
Well, two teams with a great season. They should all be proud of their efforts. For Cranston West, they are now moving on to face Exeter West Greenwich in the finals on Saturday. Two Division II South foes who had the same season record, and we'll have to see who comes out on top on that battle.
So it will be Exeter West Greenwich and Cranston West to play for the Division II Girls Volleyball Championship. Tolman would win the first set of four tonight, 25-20, but that would be the last one that they would be victorious in as Cranston West takes set two, 25-15, 25-20, and 25-23 in the fourth set for the 3-1 victory. Well, that'll do it for our broadcast tonight here on the Rhode Island Interscholastic League Network. For my partner Neil Notchbar, I'm Joe Koss. Thanks for watching. The championship game coming up on Saturday afternoon.